I'm Jason from Trading Games.
I'm Chris.
Welcome to a new video. We had a pretty exciting last couple days. Heritage Auctions had their big signature auction. Yeah, and basically the event went down. You know, it's been on display for the last couple weeks. Half of it ended on Friday afternoon, and half of it was supposed to end on Sunday. And that's what we're here to kind of talk about. And talk about how some of the games did, how some of the games didn't do too well. Some of the predictions we made, and kind of what went down. We're going to start right off with just a quick recap of basically the events that unfolded with the auction going down and being rescheduled. So let's hop into it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, so the main portion of the signature happened on Friday. And I want to say there was like 91 video games in the first part of the signature. That's where you saw like the big part of the Mario, the 660K Mario and stuff like that. So let's just call it the main event, for lack of a better term. And then Sunday was when the next portion of the signature auction was. And I want to say...
happened to be Easter.
Yeah, which was on Easter Sunday. I want to say the number for that was like between 200 and 300. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. I just remember looking that there was 91 on Friday. And so unfortunately what happened, it happened both days. So it happened on Friday and it happened on Sunday. There was a lot of like server clerical issues on Heritage's website. And so it crashed. On Friday, it was really only down for about 10 minutes, and everything kind of got up and running again. On Sunday, specifically, it went down for about 2 hours. So there was a lot of like, what ifs and what's going to happen, right? You have to think in a situation like this, there's multiple people that are being affected. There's co-signers that are selling that are being affected. There's Heritage themselves that are being affected. There's buyers that put bids in on games that ended well lower than what they should have. Basically, the servers like kind of froze. So some things were like rapid fire ending. Like you weren't actually able to bid on them, right? So like, that doesn't really count, right? And so...
They kept trying to bring the servers up. It seemed like they were trying.
They worked really hard on it. They kept pushing for it. And so essentially what happened is it died specifically on Kirby's Adventure. I say died, but that's when it failed. After about 2 hours, they got up and running again for about 10 minutes, and then it failed on RoboCop again. So then the question was like, well, did you lose a lot of buyers during that 2 hour time period, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, in my opinion, Heritage did like essentially the best thing you can do in this situation, right? What they ended up doing is they postponed the auction until Monday, the following day. And then they basically reverted back to Kirby. So they had to decide if they wanted to do Kirby or RoboCop, and they did pick Kirby, which I think personally was the right choice. But they also made sure that the high bid stood from anything that happened during that period. So like
during the crashing time of the event,
everyone was covered essentially. You know,
nobody nobody's games would go lower.
Correct.
Than the crashing event, which added a lot. A lot of people were worried. Well, maybe nobody's going to come Monday night.
Correct.
You know, and
it also secured that maybe if you did have the high bid, which, you know, most of those went up significantly higher on Monday, but if hypothetically you did and that bid stood, like you didn't lose it, right? So like it covered the buyer, it covered the seller, it covered Heritage. Like there's only so much you can do in that instance. The joke I keep making is like, you know, I wouldn't be a video gamer if I wasn't like prepared for bad servers. You know, we can speculate on what happened. Is it the amount of eyes because of everything that happened over the weekend? Heritage rolled out like an update throughout on Thursday night. Maybe there was something clerical on the back end. We're not tech guys. I'm not a server guy. I can't answer that question for you in any way, shape, or form. But that's essentially what happened. So the signature continued on into Monday, and really good results all around, I think.
We just want to get that out of the way for our viewers who just don't really know, or not in the know, and not on the forums, and not in the actual know what happened. So now that's what happened. It really turned out pretty well, though. We can, everybody knows, and we can just touch on it. The record for Super Mario Brothers, it broke the record on Left Bros, Mario 3.
Nope, on Mario 1.
Mario
so
1.
9.6 did 660K. Today.
Right.
So it broke the Left Bros.
It broke the Left Bros record.
I
Yeah,
get
that's
what
my
you're
point.
saying. I'm sorry.
They blew it away.
Yep.
That's a $660,000 bid, right? Or was that with the premium?
That's with the buyer's premium, so
With
it's
the buyer's
essentially a $550,000 bid, all in, added another 110, which made it to 660.
Congratulations to the new owner of the highest selling game at Heritage and high-selling video game ever. And
yeah, the owner still hasn't come out on it yet, so I don't know who won it.
Right.
And I imagine
to the seller.
Yeah, absolutely. And fun story. We can touch on that for like a real brief minute, but that was just a regular person that found it in basically drawers. The story that goes is they found it. They bought it in, I think, 86 or 87 as a Christmas present. It got thrown in a drawer, and it got submitted, and it was basically like it was pulled out of a case pack. As far as I understand, it's a fourth printing of Super Mario Brothers 1. Yeah, I mean, congratulations.
It's just neat. It's just further solidifying this sealed grading hobby investments. Just the whole industry, basically.
Well, and you'll see CIB copies of that game. Like, you're probably not going to see too many perfect mint sealed games. So I get that the relative scale is like astronomically different, but this market is got a lot of attention and eyes on it now, and I don't think it's slowing down at all in the slightest possible way. It keeps showing itself. It's not.
No. So that was the big news on Friday. Other than that, there's some really good sales on Friday. Lots of bid activity, leading up to the actual event, and then the live bidding was very plentiful on most of the games. There was lots of live bidding, like active and fast calls and last call. And you're like, it's done, and then added another one. Right. It had a really big suspense. We opened up the store at 11 o'clock, and we were live watching only a few minutes later, and we were real excited. My first game that went up for auction was Mario Brothers on the 2600, which we had speculated on what it'd sell for. So we got to watch it 100% live, and really exciting. I actually got it on video of us watching and kind of celebrating it. Hammer price down at about $16,600 for a single Atari game, which was great for the whole high-selling Atari game, basically
on Heritage to
date.
It's another Mario breaking records. And you're gonna hear everyone talk about that 660K, but like it's the highest recorded Atari sale on Heritage so far.
Just fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm really glad. I mean, a really rare example of that game sealed.
Yep.
They're usually not in shrink wrap. Well, they were. It's just really hard to find that game in nice shape. So that was fun, and it has a couple others in on Friday, but and then we both had a lot of games ending on the Sunday, Monday night. Everything did really well, but what we're going to talk about is just some of the highlights of the auction, some of our calls that we made. Also, what we've been talking about, some steals that happened and went down, and everybody also needs to be on the lookout for those. And so we'll start spitting some of those off. And
we did a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago where like we speculated on some stuff, and specifically I said in that video, like, if we're wrong about this stuff, we're probably going to be wrong about the ceiling and not the floor, and that was primarily the case out of 90% of the games that we called on. So I'm just going to spit these off quick. We said 3 to 5K on TurboGrafx Bonk, did 11.4. The Sega Genesis Madden went for $50,400.
That was their front page.
Yep. Cover on the magazine.
And that was. But why did we only think 8K?
Well,
I know, I'm kidding.
Because the last example of a Madden on Heritage was $1,500, and this market is dramatically changing. There was a 9.8 Mario 3 that we called 50K on, and it did 52.8, so it's pretty much right on the money there. Spyro, that was the one that I was actually wrong on the ceiling. So I guessed it was going to end at like 25 with the buyer's premium making it around 30. It did 19. So still a really respectful number. I had brought up in the video that I know the owner of that one. I do know for a fact that what he got on Heritage was higher after his fees and everything like that than any offer he had received, even though he had a pretty respectful offer under his belt. So like, I know he's really, really happy. The one thing I do know about that, I guess the consensus is not a first printing. So the world is still open for a 988 plus first print Spyro to see how that does. Hyperstone Heist, we said 30K and it did 26. Your Mario, we said 20 and it did 19.2. This one I was so off on. Like, just, I'll admit that, a lot of these calls were just blind speculation.
I have no idea why it did that.
Me either. I guessed like about $1,800 on a Superman on Game Boy, and it did 13,000. So that one was pretty surprising to see.
Don't even know why. No clue, but whatever.
The Spider-Man on Game Boy as well, I said 8K and it did 18K. And Mario, we guessed about 325,000 and it did 660. So, again, congratulations to all those people. My blister pack did well. I'm really happy with the results. It did 3,600, so I'm happy with that. That's before BP, so it did like 44.
If you won that and you don't want to tell anybody, that's fine, but let us know if you're going to crack that case open.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion, I really hope you don't crack it and then submit it, but that was just my choice. It's your choice to do whatever you want with it, but I love the way it displayed
on its own. We just like to kind of know its history.
Yeah, if it makes it into a WADA case, I'd love to know it. That'd be cool. So what I found, again, what I thought was more fun last time than picking out some of these like super big ticket items or some of the stuff that coincide more with some of these more rare, harder to find games and so on and so forth, not calling those games in those conditions not rare, but what I find to be interesting, you know, a lot of the games we pointed out saying these games undersell is based on a relative scale. When we're talking about a bunch of games that sold for $10,000 to $50,000, $1,000 to $2,000 you could theoretically look at as underselling. It depends who you are.
So maybe these are the best investment ones. Maybe
Right.
they're leaving some meat on the bones.
The 911 Siphon Filter 3 did 5K, which I think is a great buy. That's just a really rare game, really cool story behind it. They on Sega CD did 2K, which I was surprised of. And I actually rounded these, so some of these are like 2,100 and
We
so on
haven't
and
been
so forth.
seeing any big movements on Sega CD
No,
yet.
so I was actually really surprised. I thought 2K was pretty high for that, so it's interesting to see that go up a little bit. Breath of Fire did 2K. I brought up a First Samurai last week, and it only did $500. Like, again, games at around $500 in a signature auction, there ain't that many. So, surprised me. Yeast 3, $1,320. That's a good buy. Whoever got that, it's a good game. It's one that's been sold on Heritage in the 3 years they've done it. I think the more and more this stuff comes out, you're going to realize how hard some of this stuff is to find in this game. Worms Armageddon on
64.
Yep. It was
$5,000.
Yeah.
That's a really rare game box. It's high grade. I think
it was like a 9.2 or 9.4, I think.
Yeah, but that game is so hard to find, anyways, and sealed.
Yep.
That there's a lot. That'd be a $10,000 game. That'd be a $10,000 game, especially if one comes to market like high at 9.8.
Yeah.
Instantly. So there's that one will go up too.
Shinobi 3 on Genesis did 2K. Thunder Force 2 did 2,600. Rainbow Islands did 2,100. So I started noticing a pattern here. Like, all of these are like kind of around the $2,000 marker. So it's like these rare games, like two grand seems to be the entry point for some of these.
Yeah.
We said Outrun, and that one did 7,000, which is pretty solid. It's a rare game. I think it had a B plus. I might be wrong on that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty good. Somebody realized good money on that one. Eternal Darkness, only $780.
yeah, and I think it was a 9.6.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, Eternal Darkness is real popular. And then the weird ones was like in Sector X, which was 660. Cubivore only did $1,500. Goodbye. And Barai did 430. So,
I sold some Genesis games for $1,000, you know, and they're not worth $1,000. Cubivore should have blown it away in rarity, but this market is flipped.
yeah, you know, and
But here's where we get some really, like, some of these games that we're going to call out here. These were they undersold.
that's what I think. And this is like,
In our opinion.
if you have a unlimited capital to go into this is stuff I'd be buying.
I put this on my radar. My number one game on my radar was Athletic World, the Bandy Family Fun and Fitness version of Athletic World White Box.
Yep.
Kind of like the sequel to State of Events, or the pre-sequel. I can't remember now. Sorry. I think it only went for about $1,300.
Yeah, it was like
$1,500. And
8.5 CIB, really strong
just
CIB.
a CIB.
Minty though.
Yeah,
It's
very
nice.
minty and very hard to find that game box. If you needed to buy one, it'd take you weeks to be able to buy one nice.
Yeah.
And it'd be $1,000.
Yep. So I thought that was a steal. Color of Dinosaur did about 2K, which, you know, the interesting thing I point out about Color of Dinosaur is when a census comes up, I had someone make a statement that said they thought there might be less sealed Color of Dinosaurs out there than stadium events, right? It is really that rare. When a census shows up, there's one less of them because that was one of the games we had in the robbery.
Yeah, we lost, yeah.
Yep. So, like, if they say there's 10 sealed copies, there's one less in the world right now,
One less, yep.
which is disheartening. But Firehouse Rescue did like $1,200. Good job, Ryan. Kickmaster 8.5. Good. Goodbye. That game is awesome. Power Punch 2 did about 10 grand. I think it was like 9. I don't know. I just have a weird association with that game. That was a 9.8. It was either an A plus or an A plus plus. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you know, that was supposed to be Mike Tyson's Punch Out 2. So when I see Punch Outs going for 100 grand and a perfect Power Punch 2 with like Mike Tyson, not Mike Tyson on the cover, like, I don't know. I think that's a cool game. I just think it's got a cool story. You box aliens, right? Like, it's pretty neat. A Pokemon Fire Red only did 3K, and I know I said only, but like Emerald and Sapphire broke like 50. You know, they were higher grades, but like, yeah, it's, you would have thought, I mean, I kept saying it's like, oh, it's the Charizard buff. And the other important thing with like Fire Red, Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, all those, like those boxes are hard to get in high grades because a lot of them have that like hollow foil on them and stuff like that, which scratched really easily and stuff like that. So, you know, those are really nice games, but like, wow, you know, $50,000 on a Sapphire. Congratulations to the seller.
PS1, Children of the Atom.
That one was Sega Saturn, I think.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. On this one, I wrote some like quick notes on them.
Gotcha.
But that was like, I think it only did like 550.
What about the Shattered Memories?
Yeah, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I want to say it was a 9.6. It's $690. Like, I would have bought that. I also made my first Heritage buy this week on the Tuesday Weekly, so that's the first time I've personally purchased something on Heritage. So, like, you know, I keep saying that I think there's good deals on there, and you know, I've convinced myself. So, like, I'm buying some stuff now too. So,
the most interesting thing to me about this whole signature auction, because I watched a lot of it live, especially on Monday night. There's just a lot of activity live.
Oh yeah,
a lot. I saw a lot of things that I thought, if they hadn't got a lot of activity the night of the live auction, they would have sold low.
Yeah.
Like really low. So I don't think they were just leaving nothing. They were just, everybody was buying up everything. Now I was really interested in Genesis. I watched a lot of the Genesis titles and they had a lot of activity, a lot of bid activity, a lot of last call, and then a bid.
Yeah.
And then bid, and then a pause, last call, another bid. So I really didn't see much on Genesis, and I'm excited about Genesis. To really, it is probably the most talked about, underrated games that get sold that are old and collectible. So
I personally think the Dreamcast market's really, really undervalued, and
there isn't very much of it.
No, but I'm looking into more Dreamcast too. Like the Sega will have its day, just like Nintendo does. You know what I mean? And I think you're right on that. To your point of what you're saying about the activity, I was talking to a friend. We've watched a lot of these auctions, right? Like I've sat down on tons of them, and I think when you see a game that sells for over $500,000, it's attracting a lot of new eyeballs to Heritage. And I just really like the way he worded it. He sat down, he was watching the Sunday Night Signature for the first time, and he was like, you could feel the electricity that was going on, you know? Like, when you're sitting down and you're watching, like, bid, last call, like, all that, like, it's exciting. Especially on Friday, they have, like, a real auctioneer. Like, the Part 2 Signature has an automated auctioneer. But, like, even the automated, like, it's fine, that robot, you know?
We need
his voice is comforting to me at this point.
Who do we need to really do those auctions on Friday night, though?
Letterkenny.
Yeah. It's just he was a great auctioneer and everything. He didn't have I don't think he had a real good grasp of the video game market. Oh, look, it's Mario. You know, I remember Mario.
Yeah.
You know,
they changed it to the woman that switched over, and actually the switch in auctioneers when the freeze happened on Friday.
I didn't. Weren't you working?
Yeah, I was. It was on the background. I'm doing product research.
Yeah, okay. I had to work, you know what I mean? Wait a minute, you work for me here. Yeah. What's happening?
Hey.
That's all right.
Maybe you shouldn't have called off on a Friday. This is my clerks. I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I wasn't even here. I didn't even work Friday at all. My bad. I just said hi. I just came in to watch my game end on live.
No, you know, this is all stuff that we like doing and we like learning, and it was, like, really fun to have it on in the background. I mean, unfortunately, like, I don't want to say unfortunately, because obviously we're open and I'm helping people, but like I didn't get to as attentively watch it as I would have liked to because I was at work. But I mostly listen. You know, I had it going on in the background and stuff like that. And I definitely dedicated like 8 hours to it over Sunday and
Yeah.
stuff because of how much longer it took.
I tried on Sunday. It was
Yeah.
just kept crashing on me on my phone.
Yep.
But I guess it was for everybody.
Yep. So
Another exciting week.
Yeah.
Another exciting signature auction. The next week has already started. There's always games for auction up at Heritage.
Yep.
So, everybody can go to ha.com.
ha!
Yeah, and just be interested in the hobby and then have fun with it. So
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun doing them, and I'm going to keep doing that.
it's brought a lot more excitement into it.
Yeah.
Into this. It's just a different aspect of it.
It's a whole new landscape, and it's really a sight to see. Again, congratulations to the sellers, to the buyers, people that are happy. I think that there's a lot of people that are just going to be really content with the things that they added. I think that there's a lot of sellers going to be really happy with the checks that they get, and I think there's probably going to be a lot of naysayers that still show a lot of disbelief. But however you want to feel, this is happening.
People are getting paid.
Yep. So
People are getting paid. So thanks for tuning in for another video, and we'll bring you out one next week. Who knows what we're going to talk about? Shoot us some questions, some ideas. We'd love to do another. I'd like to do a store tour. That's been what a couple people asked for. Unfortunately, we are been so busy. We are low on inventory.
A little bit.
A little bit, anyways.
A little bit.
So, all right, thanks everyone. Catch you
Thanks.
later.
Bring us your Pokemons. We'll buy your Pokemons.
Oh yeah.